Hi, in this video I'm going to teach you some of the revision techniques I use to revise for my GCSEs, which are coming up very shortly. You know, sort of got that sense of impending doom right now, and if you have that feeling too, then maybe this video can help you, because these techniques and tips and tricks and stuff, they're helping me. And yeah, let's get started. So this was the timetable I used for my mock exams, and I recommend for revision and for your exams, just put it all in a timetable, so you're more likely to get work done if you set yourself deadlines, because then you know that your time's running out. You go buckle down and do your work. And so organising it like this, it lets you know when you need to do each thing, what things you need to do, and when you need to do each thing by. And that's just really useful, and it helps you sort of keep a schedule on things rather than everything getting out of hand and you feeling overwhelmed. You'll feel like you have everything under control if you do stick to your schedule that you make. So it's definitely useful to make a timetable like this. I'm currently working on making one that I'm going to use for revising from now until my GCSEs, and I will stick to that, and hopefully, and it should keep all my work under control and try and stop it from being as stressful as it could be if everything was just like all over the place. So another thing you're going to want to do is, before you start revising for anything, you're going to want to make sure you have signed out of anything on your computer that's going to distract you. So for example, I'm going to sign out of Skype because that can be distracting. I'm going to sign out of Steam because it can be very distracting. It's like you suddenly want to play something, and I don't know, you probably have to make your own decision about this. I'm also going to put Spotify because I find that distracting. Maybe it's something that helps you, who knows, there'll be more on that later, but I find it distracting at times. Sometimes I use it for a revision, sometimes I don't. Okay, so the next thing you're going to want to do before you even start revising is you're going to want to turn your phone off. I don't mean just lock the screen, I mean you literally want to probably just turn it off. Because at the end of the day, you're just going to be tempted to go on there, watch YouTube, on Facebook, do whatever. And if you're doing that in the middle of revising, it's not a good idea. And you shouldn't really do it in your breaks either, if you can avoid it, because it's just going to lead you getting distracted and getting involved in that for ages. So turn your phone off completely and just put it to one side. The next thing is, for every single thing, I just like to carry a little notebook around, and I always write a to-do list of what I have to do the next day, because it lets you keep track of everything, keep organised. So I'll put everything I need to do the next day in here, and I'll just tick it off as I do those things. So if I have to hand in homework, if I have to go see a teacher, if I have to ask a teacher about something for revising or whatever, I'll just put it in here, and then in the next day I can do all that, so that when I come home I have everything I need out of the way and I can focus on studying a bit more. Right, so another thing I like to do is I have this box, and this box is filled with textbooks from every subject I do. So, science, German, geography, English, all separated into order, so it's easy to find anything I want. So if I want to do some science revision, I'll take something out of this section, just look through that, and it's good. And these textbooks here, made by CGP, they're very good. I'll show you one here. I recommend them, but they do cost money obviously. But this is the maths one, and it has literally everything from the maths syllabus for GCSE, and but it's very good. But I mean, obviously you might not be able to afford it, so if you can't afford it, what you can do, if I just have a look here, this is one that I just went to my school's library and borrowed, and so it's got pretty much everything else that the CGP ones would have, so it's actually really useful. So yeah, I recommend you get some textbooks and just start sorting them out into this sort of format, and then you have something to revise from whenever. So another key thing is there's lots and lots of really useful websites you can use. Now you probably already use some of these, but it's important to remember that you can literally just find everything you'll ever need to know on these. So this is BBC Bite Size. It's probably my favourite. just because you can learn an entire subject on here without ever being taught it in a class. It's that good. So, for example, here's the geography section. Literally every single aspect of geography at GCSE is in here. So if we're to go on rock landscapes, which I struggle quite a bit with, then there's like all these clips of stuff. I guess that can be helpful. But then if we go on to BBC Bite Size down here, then you can find out about all these other topics. So you can either look at videos or you can look at like these massive guides. So for water and rivers, it's got all these mini tests you can take online and like filling in answers. It's got videos as well. It's got things to revise. So if you go on river landforms, for example, if that's one thing you struggle quite a bit with, then it will literally teach you the entire thing in 3 pages. It's really good for it. It's got nice diagrams and stuff. So yeah, it's really good. You can like have a look through the pages because it will literally tell you everything. So BBC Bite Size, that's a really good one, but you probably already use it. Like it's literally the first thing that comes up with anything. Okay, another one. This is one that our school has like a subscription to or something. But basically, it's like it's very good for like all these subjects here and like more stuff as well. It's got like online quizzes and stuff, and it's like a competition against your classmates. It's quite good and encouraging, and it's fun at the same time as well as teaching you and revising everything you would have known. Another good one is Quizlet. This is where you can literally just find flashcards without having to make them. So instead of having to make your own flashcards, you can just borrow other people's. And so it's got literally like flashcards here. This is for this one here. If we go down to say maybe this one, sort of load. There we go. So we've got like all these. This is for B2, keeping healthy. So someone's like wrote down everything important about B2, and you can just look at it and print out, do whatever. Another good site for like English is this one here. This is Spark Notes. This is sort of like if you don't understand something like a novel or something. So I'm currently studying Animal Farm. If you don't understand it, just go on Spark Notes and it will tell you everything. Like it's got themes, it's got chapter summaries, it's got character lists which tells you everything about that novel. You wouldn't even have to read it. You could probably get the general plot of it without reading it. But so for example, like here's one of the themes of corruption and socialist ideas in the Soviet Union, which is present in Animal Farm, and it basically tells you everything about it in the novel. It's really useful and helps you build an understanding of stuff in English. Another one, this site is I don't know, it looks really badly made at a glance, but like if you dig deeper into it, it's actually one of the most useful science sites out there for GCSE stuff. Because like if you look here, this is in the chemistry section. This is C2.1 structure and bonding, and it's got literally everything you need to know about atomic structure and stuff. It's got links to other revision pages, and it goes through everything in quite a simple way. So that's really useful for learning stuff about chemistry and revising it, and not just chemistry. Even though it says chemistry at the top, it will teach you about physics and biology as well. So that's really good. Another thing that I really like to use is past maths paper YouTube videos. This is my favourite channel for this, and it will be credited in the description. It's Achieve Maths, and basically this guy, he's like a maths teacher. He goes through all these past papers, and he does it in a really clear and simple and easy to understand way, but it's very thorough. So it's really useful. Like he'll go through entire past papers, like you can work along with him, and I find that way of learning really useful. So I recommend this channel. I'll put a link in the description. There's many others like on YouTube, and they're all so useful. It's like even more useful than doing the past paper yourself, in my opinion. Maybe it's just because I'm a bit lazy, who knows. Another thing you can do is, while you're studying, you may like to listen to something in the background. This is one of my favourite ones to listen to. It's more sort of relaxing. But I find it's best to listen to something which you don't really know all that well, because then you won't be like distracted by it as much. So I know some people like this. So, whatever floats your boat. But yeah, I'll also put the link to this in the description. It's very good in my opinion, both studying and not studying. So yeah, it's great. So one of the things that I do is I ask my geography teacher for these revision posters, and I don't know if your school would have them. They're pretty useful, and you can always make your own. They cover like each topic. So this is one of the topics I'm quite bad at, population change, and I've highlighted some bits that I need to sort of memorise. Highlighting stuff is good, remember. So I've got some more here, and this one's on the coastal zone. More highlighted stuff there, so you can tell I'm quite bad at that topic. Same with rocks and scenery and the restless earth. And I just put these on my wall by my bed so I can just look at them. They're quite useful. Okay, so the next thing is this sort of post-it note thing. It's this free program, and there's lots like it. What it lets you do is that you just put these like post-it notes and checklists on your desktop. Like you can draw stuff. You can do all sorts. It's really useful because it's just like it's completely free. You can do so much on it, and I'll put the link in the description. So now obviously when you're in school you probably have a pencil case, and so this is my one. It's filled with like pencils, pens, rulers, rubbers, scissors, calculator, all that stuff that you'd normally have. But I also have this one here, and this is more my revision sort of pencil case. So you can see I've got some stuff. I've still got scissors and pencils and stuff. I've also got stuff like the periodic table, some post-it notes that I can use to make notes on whenever I want to revise, highlighters, sticky tape for putting things on my wall or whatever. So it's just really useful, like glue, all sorts of stuff that I can use when I'm revising to sort of organise everything and make it more memorable. So another thing I've been working on is, as I go through revising for my GCSEs in a few months, I've been basically making revision resources for every subject I do. Now obviously not every subject's in here currently because I haven't started on every subject, but I've just been diving in. It's probably better if you have like a timetable of when you want to make each resource for each subject. But for example in science, I've got stuff here, a little note for myself on what sort of resources I can use to revise. And if we go into like biology, you can see I've got some guides for B1 and B2 that I got off my school's website, and then these are ones I've made. So and when I say made, like I literally mean that I've just gone with different sources, gathered up information, trimmed it down a bit, and put it in an easier format. So this one is from that Doc Brown site from earlier. So this is not one of my best ones. This is one I'm still working on adding information to, but it's still useful for what I want it to do. So yeah, there's that one. And then another one I made. If we're looking, say we're looking at physics. I haven't done anything in physics yet. Now if we're looking at chemistry, we've got crude oil. This is a topic I found quite difficult, but I've basically gone through different websites and stuff and just gathered together all these resources about crude oil, and it's 12 pages long, so I could probably trim it down a bit further, but it's still got literally everything I'll need to know on that topic. And if I make one, and if you make one for every topic you do in every subject you do, you'll have everything you need to know for your revision. And if you're wondering where you get all this information, just use those sites I used earlier. This is literally where this information has come from, like a combination of those sites. So Bite Size, Quizlet, anywhere really, like the Doc Brown sites that are reliable, have lots of information, especially the sites I mentioned earlier. You can just take information from them, trim it down a bit, and put it in a Word document, and you'll have everything you need to know for that topic. They don't take long to make, like an hour or two at best if you're really looking for good information. and they're very useful, and you can just read through them whenever you want, rather than having to like fumble through your school book for like notes on each subject. So obviously this one sort of goes without saying, like whatever subject board, like exam board your exams are on, if you just go on their website, so either AQA, EdXL, WJEC, whatever exam board it is, chances are they'll have an entire load of past papers for every subject with mark schemes and everything, and it's really essential that you do these. And it goes without saying, you know, you're going to look through past papers, you're going to use the mark scheme to see if you got it right, but like there's just so many that you can do. And as I said earlier, you know, there's those YouTube videos that go through these things, so you can like work along with them. It's really useful. It's one of the best ways to revise. It's got pretty much every subject in here, not just for GCSE either. You can do it at A level, so once you finish your GCSEs, you don't need to feel like you're on your own. You've still got these that you can go through, and you can still do like research from everywhere. So, you know, as far as like past papers go, there are loads on AQA especially. EdXL is a bit harder to find, but you can definitely find them if you just look a bit harder. And the WJEC one is kind of confusing, but you know, OCR, they've got a lot. But pretty much every exam board will have an entire load of past papers, and you can just literally go through them. They're completely free, print them out, you can do whatever with them, and yeah. So another thing you can do, if you do think it will help you focus, you can use Spotify to listen to pretty much whatever you want. It's less distracting than having a YouTube window open, because you're not likely to just go off on YouTube. But if you just type in something like study, then loads of things are going to come up for like playlists that people have made for like studying music, or you can just put whatever you want on. Be warned though, if you get distracted by it, you might want to not do this, because this technique can work for some people. It can also bring others down by like just distracting them and stopping them from getting work done, especially if it's like music you know. So it's best to sort of be more obscure and just go for whatever, really. Just something like these playlists, you know, just find one of these, put it on, and you never know, it might help and it might not. Just experiment with it. Okay, so this right here is really useful, because basically it's like a timer for like when you're revising. So you know, you can have this running in the background, just press start. And if you're like me and you like to revise in short sessions because you sort of lose focus after about half an hour, this is great, because you can do 25 minutes and then you can go take a 5-minute break, you know, make a cup of tea, do whatever, keep yourself awake. And yeah, I mean, there's loads of other timers out there that you can use. I like this one personally, just because it's really nice and simple and runs in the background. But yeah, it's good to sort of time yourself rather than just going for hours and with just losing the will to live. Basically, you can just do this. You can take a break, do whatever. Yeah, it's really good. And another thing is, although I'm a bit hypocritical by saying this, you really shouldn't revise late into the night. Now, I do this, and I know it's not working as much as revising during the day is, but I have very little time, so I sort of have to. But if you can avoid it, try and revise during the day if you can, and you know, sleep at night like you're meant to. So yeah. So the final thing I like to do is, during either my revision breaks or when I'm studying, I like to play a game. And for me at the moment, the game I like to play is Call of Duty, because it's something you can just dive right into, and the rounds aren't that long, and it's a rewarding thing to do during like your short break. And then you can get back to studying. Or what I sometimes do, and this is what I did for my German assessment, is when I had to learn this German assessment off by heart, I would play a round of Call of Duty, and while I waited for it to put me into the next game, I would do revision for 2 or 3 minutes. And even though it doesn't sound like a very long time, if you're playing for a couple of hours and you're having 5-minute games and then doing a couple minutes of revision, then it is effective and it's also rewarding, and it gives you that motivation to keep studying, to keep doing your German, because you know you can then just play a game for a bit. So obviously you don't have to use Call of Duty, or you don't even have to use a game. Just find something that's rewarding that you can do in a short period of time before you get back to studying, or can combine with studying. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please leave a like. I hope it helped. These techniques helped me revise my GCSEs, and maybe they'll help you too. Our time is running out. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment if you want any advice, and I will reply to you as soon as possible with however I can help. And yeah, thank you.